wasn't as great as, I mean, disease among prostitutes wasn't as great as you would think it would be. Now, does that occur all over the world? No, that's in the fancy, houses of prostitution. In the back alleys, you get diseases just by looking at people. But that behavior was protective for the prostitutes of the day. Interesting, right? Then we come to today and the sexual behaviors that we have today, where there is limitless invention, if you will. Anything you can think of gets done. Things you can't think of get done. Things you wouldn't believe in get done. So they've always been looking for the source of syphilis in the world, like how did it start? And every national group in Western Europe blames everybody else. The Germans blame the French blame the English blame her. Probably way back when, it started because shepherds, in the fields by night and all that other stuff, were actually having sexual behavior with their sheep. If you play any of these for anybody, you're all getting an F. You know what I'm saying? If I hear any of this or anybody comes back to me, that's it. You'll never record another word. And what happens is the syphilis organism is an endemic organism in the intestinal tract of sheep. So remember when I said it's innocent in its normal habitat? Once I was taken from its normal habitat through the penile shovel, a penis is really a shovel, and it shovels stuff out of one local area and inserts it into another local area, which is why it's really hard to treat women with vaginal infections when there's more than one sexual partner in the mix. And the question that you never get an honest answer to is, have you had sex with anybody else? No, of course not. What, are you kidding? I wouldn't do that. Well, how come I keep getting reinfected with this thing? I have no idea. I'm just suggesting that that's an odd question. So this is all flying around. And then we get to a point in our history, I'm just jumping ahead a little bit, I'll back up in a minute, where if you get gonorrhea, which was very prevalent in the armed services, and they would make these wonderful movies showing what would happen if you got gonorrhea, we got a medication that would treat it, and everybody said, well, that'll be it, that'll be the end of gonorrhea. All you have to do is get a shot of penicillin. Yeah, but you have to get a shot of penicillin every time you get it, and you can't be giving it to somebody else because you're going to get it back and bring it around again. So we had a point in time when we could have eliminated it totally, but people didn't behave that way because you can't proscribe human behavior, right? We still have people who smoke. Smoking has the potential to kill you, but people smoke. People drink. Alcohol is poison. But people say, well, I'll just have a little poison and I can get over it. So if you're not going to change human behavior, you're never going to be able to eliminate human diseases that could be controlled. I argue with friends of mine who are physicians a lot, and they said to me, you're really dumb because there are just a few things that people would have to do to achieve better health. I said, well, what is that? Number one is lose weight. Number two is stop drinking. And number three is stop smoking. Because those are the three biggest things that cause disease to happen and put people in hospitals. So I said, well, what do you know about that? And if smoking didn't kill you, I'd still be smoking. But it does. So you have to stop that behavior. It's really intriguing. Now I know that you all know some old Italian men that are like 110 and they've had a bottle of wine every day for 80 years and smoke those disgusting stogie cigars, and they're healthy as can be. You have to blow them up with a bomb in order to get rid of them. They just go on forever. Do you know people like that? Yeah. And you say, well, what's your secret of longevity? And they give you a long list. You drink it of wine, you smoke it of stogies, and they're never stressed. And no stress. But their wives are pretty stressed. That's kind of the other side of the point. Nobody ever acknowledges that. So Anyway, those are some of the things. Now, let's get back to the history. So where are we? We're in 1900. We've just gotten the first magic bullet. Who else do I have on my list?
Salt and seven.
Yes, now we're in the 1900s. The bottom of my list is Salk and Sabin, but that's way too fast, so let me back up a little bit. In the 30s, well, let me go to World War I. World War I, 1918. By the way, there's a great book, if anybody wants to read about World War I, 1914 to 1918. You'll die reading it. It was disgusting what happened. So what's going on in the world today? Beheadings. It's disgusting what's going on. Did we make any progress? I don't know. But if you want to read about 14 to 18, that's an interesting point. And you would be?
Larry.
Did you just leave?
No.
You're just coming? I don't have a thing for you because I didn't make that many, so I'll have to get you one later. Larice what?